What's going on, guys? Bank Robber Games here with more ADACA Zone Patrol. And last episode, when we left off, it was a really cool episode. We made our way through the storm drain area, did a bunch of exploration there, found some really interesting things as well, and made our way over to Junction 6 and ended up picking up the parts to repair the radar dish. So I highly recommend going back and watching that episode if you haven't seen it, because it will clue you on to everything you need in order to get to this point yourself. Because this episode we're going to be doing a mission called Operation Earhorn, and this is the mission involving the radar dish you can see here after it gets repaired. There's a moderate threat there. We are going to select a companion, but I don't think you have access to companions in missions, but I just need to double check. And going to be playing on normal. But before we go into the dropship, in order to start the mission, we are going to visit the quartermaster here, and we are going to buy some body armor. This isn't required by any means, but this is potentially quite a difficult mission we've got ahead of us, so I would recommend it. And it will just make us quite a bit tougher, make it easier to complete this mission. Now, I would say if you don't complete the mission your first attempt, don't worry, because it does, like I said, it can be quite difficult. So it can take a couple of attempts to complete it. Something to point out is there are health items, grenade and ammo stores here by the ship. So if at any point you are low on ammo or grenades, run back to the ship and pick up some more. I would also recommend as well that if you are struggling, maybe go back to the ship and purchase some weapons that might be a bit more effective from the quartermaster, or you can even attempt to find some of the other vendors within Zone Patrol to see if they sell any weapons that make this mission a bit easier for you. So the gun turret on the dropship has started firing at things, and that is a good indicator that enemies are coming out of this clown closet spawn point I pointed out at the end of last episode, just down those stairs. And also turn the radio on if you like. Listen to some music. I prefer not to, just so that it makes it easier to hear what's going on. You do have to be careful because your allies can quite easily be taken out by the enemies. They should do a relatively good job at staying near the radar dish though, generally speaking. So every now and then you'll see the signal being jammed. And that's just from the cell towers that were jamming the signal before. If you look out for the lights on the top of the towers, it will tell you which ones have been activated. Normally they don't all get activated at once like this. We're quite unlucky really. Of course I have to get stuck by an RPG. And as you saw a minute ago, some of the enemies can actually be quite tough. So using your gravity arm and throwing any objects at enemies, or smacking them with enemies, can be a good way to conserve some of your ammo and take out the enemies a bit quicker. Talking of ammo though, we are just going to quickly run back to the ammo dump here. And other than being a bit unlucky with those jammers going off all at once, I think so far it's not gone too badly. And yeah, when you go off and deactivate the jammers, you want to be as quick as possible, because as you can see, your allies can get overrun quite easily. I find though, if you do just deactivate the jammer without taking out the enemies, a lot of the time they will just reactivate it pretty much straight away. And the game isn't being very nice to us. It sounds like a big... I don't know, I thought it was one of the big guys that spawned in. Game is definitely making things a bit difficult for us though. rate at which the jammers are getting turned on. I think one of our allies did just get taken out there. As you can see, things can get pretty crazy. So I do think it is just us. Thankfully there isn't that long left of having to defend the objective. Complete the objective there. All we have to do is head back to the dropship to make it out safe. Like I said, things could get a bit crazy. That was our first attempt. That was my first time attempting that mission. Previously, it has taken me a couple of attempts to get it done. Like I said, things can get a bit crazy, and sometimes the game is a little bit more fair to you than others, and I think it depends quite a lot on how quickly your allies get taken out as well. So I've had it before where the allies get taken out very, very quickly, and it's made the rest of the mission very, very difficult. And we did get told to go to the rear observation deck, which wasn't actually open for us before. But something else that I'd add is the body armor does make things a lot easier when you have to run out by yourself. and because it can be very easy to get overrun, especially if you haven't got any good weapons like we didn't. Then the body armor makes things much easier for you to survive. But also it does show that you can do the mission without purchasing any other weapons as well, so you can save your artifacts for other items if you wish. Again, just pointing you in the direction of the concrete forest. Very cool area that we saw in the main game. Yeah, and also pointing you in the direction of that underground network. Interesting robot here, giving us orders. All we have to do is reselect zone patrol, and then we can gear up again and head back down into the zone. Because we purchased body armor, it is available for us to equip here whenever we gear up and go into the zone again. I would potentially recommend getting the tactical SMG. That can make Operation Earhorn a bit easier. The mine launcher is a very fun weapon and potentially useful having an explosive weapon, but it doesn't have that much ammo until you get the ammo bag upgrade, but obviously there is the ammo stash by the dropship you can use. Same with the grenade launcher and the rocket rifle. The rocket rifle has hardly any ammo though, so that is something to bear in mind if you want to purchase that. The tactical pistol is also probably a good choice for Operation Earhorn if you get a lot of use out of the pistol, but other than that, maybe the shotgun. I don't think the assault rifle or carbine is the best choices to complete Operation Earhorn. But like I said earlier, we completed it without purchasing any other weapons, so it can be done. See what Mark has spawned with. I think that's the double-barreled shotgun. So for now we're going to be heading into the dish, and this is just the direction I recommend going. It makes the most sense to me in order to do things sort of efficiently. If we try interacting with this, all we get is it's the utility box for the radar array. And the quickest way to get to the dish is through the storm drain And then there's an entrance to the dish from there. Going to be an area that we will be visiting quite a lot, really. And as I head back through the storm drain, there is going to be a couple of things that we can interact with now, but I am going to miss out for the time being, and we'll come back round to them later on when it makes more sense. With this guide, I'm trying to make things as easy as possible to follow, and also not make things overwhelming or skip steps in all the quests we have as well. So it might seem like I miss things potentially, but I might be doing them later. But at the same time, feel free to comment below if there is anything you think I've missed. Up here there is a codex entry. Again, this Aiden character is obviously being left to explore the zone. There is also another scanner up here that can be used to find different things in the zone, but we're not going to worry about using that for the time being. Machine pistol. May as well use that because it's a weapon we didn't get to use all that often throughout the campaign. You might also recognise this area if you watched our campaign playthrough. That was a good throw. So we've got quite a lot to do in this room here, and this was one of the areas the blue computers pointed out to us. We have got our tier 2 key card, which allows us to access tier 2 security areas. There is the data cache reader here, but I don't know where the data cache is, and I haven't been able to find anything online, so I'm not entirely sure what to do with this, or if it has any information on it. So activating that computer has given us a quest log, a journal entry from this scientist, pointing us in the next direction to go. Down here, just like in the campaign, and sometimes here's the there is a weapon chest here, and we were lucky and got a pulse pistol, which is a weapon we haven't seen before in the campaign either, so I'm going to pick this up and use it. There is an artifact here, and normally this is where the data cache is for the data cache reader up in the room we were just in, but this time it has just been replaced by an artifact. So for now, we're not going to worry about that room for a little while. If we come forward here, there is a hole in the fence. And we can get an artifact in amongst these shipping containers. Got a little bit of a trek here. And this is a anomaly I very much hate to see, being like these psychic attacks. They'll stun your companions. There's not any way I know of to get rid of it, which is really annoying. So if we just head out to where the armoured vehicles are in the campaign. And there's an artifact in this little shed here. And again, the game isn't being very nice to us in terms of any enemy spawns. That was quite cool, the way the weapon went off after he got taken out. So this is the entrance to the Haunt, which is an area we're not going to explore just yet. It is an area we came through in the main campaign, and you can see the drop pods are still here. So that does tell me that Zone Patrol does take place after the main campaign. But overall, there isn't really much down here, other than in this building in front of us. Computer beeping away there. So there's some energy ammo. So if ever you have the energy weapons, you can pick them up. And there is another artifact. But looking at how long this episode has been, I think here's a pretty good place to wrap it up. We got quite a lot done this episode and had quite a few hints of some areas we're going to be exploring in the future, which is really, really cool. And we've still got quite a lot left of the dish area to explore and a few points of interest for us to find. But remember to comment below if there's any questions you have about the areas we've explored so far, or if there's anything you think I might have missed. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode and been enjoying the series so far, and also been finding it useful. If you have been finding it useful, make sure to like and subscribe for more, and then that way you won't miss out on the next episode and the rest of this guide. But thanks again for watching. I always appreciate having you guys here, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.